Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Baer, and we're back to building Gundam. We took a little bit of a detour there. Last few streams were about an original wrestling belt that we designed, and before that was Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So now we're getting back to the meat of this channel, which is building Gunpla. We're going to wait a little bit, see if a few more folks want to join us today. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emotes into the chat if you're a subscriber. Throw me back those emotes. Let me know what's up. Or if you're not a subscriber, say hi. Throw an emote to a channel that you subscribe to. Whatever. Lashbrook's in here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. Um, Excited to be here today to do a little live streaming. Of course, this is a busy 3 days because I streamed yesterday. Some folks were here for my Hearthstone stream. This stream took like 2.5 hours of Hearthstone because I was going to do it anyway. And uh, I set up during the day on Thursday, usually during the day on Thursday, I set up all my gear, my lights, because I do filming on Thursday for videos. And then Friday, it's all up. So I felt like I should just stream yesterday, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. Um, it was a good time to do Smartstone streaming. Show off a deck before the next expansion changes that deck, or a patch comes in and messes it up. And then I showed off a little bit at the end of another deck. Um, I'm going to try to do more of that. I don't know when, but I'd like to stream more. I'd like to stream some more games. Get my hours streamed up per month, my unique days up per month. Kind of broaden the channel a little bit. We've been stagnant, I would say, for about 6 months as far as going between 20 and 30 subscribers. And I'd love to jump those numbers up some. That'd be a nice thing. And we'll take a dip because at the end of the month, beginning of next month, I will be away. And that always hurts the stream. Going away for a couple days. I'll try to stream while I'm away. The hope is to I'll do a stream the day before I leave for PAX Unplugged, and then the hope is to stream while I'm there. I'm going to bring a couple kits to do, just easy to travel kits, and hopefully I'll have I have a Lego set I can bring that I can just set up, and hopefully I'll be able to do that. Well, yeah, we're waiting for a few more folks to join us. Hopefully, a couple more people will pop in to the stream today. Sunday or Saturday is always a little lighter than Thursday, but hopefully a few folks will pop in and say hello. Because this is an exciting kit. We're working on the Zaku 2. Here it is, the Zaku 2 from Gundam Thunderbolt. This is a big old kit. Let me look at some photos here. You can see some of the artwork here, the renderings. It's a big, big, big kit. Oh, we're getting the pulling this up is changing the backdrop there. It's a big, big kit with a big old backpack. It's a big boy with a big backpack. I said on Twitter today. Um, so this is Zaku 2, Principality of Zeon. One thing I want to point out here is that it says UC 0079, Living Dead Division. Now to pilot this, friends, you'd be amputized, and it uses like brain waves. So it's very cool looking, but creepy and fucked up. This is a 2016 kit. This is there's a lot of cool stickers for it. Water slides that I will not use. There's some other fabrics here. We may use some of those. I don't know. We got a couple springs to put on. We'll probably do that. It is in English and Japanese, so that's cool. And I did a little bit of clipping because I want to get my fingers warmed up as always. But yeah, I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if a few more folks want to join us. Oh, there's just somebody who didn't know that Yu Hakusho was going off of Crunchyroll. That is a true statement. Today was the day that a bunch of the Funimation stuff that was being lent out to Crunchyroll went away. Um, or basically, it's the shows that Crunchyroll paid for the dubbing license for, they will have soon. So some shows will come back, and some shows they didn't have dubs before that because of the deals they couldn't have up will show up. But a lot of shows that they didn't have the subtitle rights for, that Funimation paid for the subtitling rights, left Crunchyroll slash Verve, which is a bummer. And I listed a bunch of the ones that were big to me, and Yu was certainly one of those. I'll have more to say about Yu later. I'll wait for see if a few more people want to join us before I start getting into the anime I watched, because I watched some original, new Yu Hakusho, and I want to talk about it. But we'll wait a little bit. I want to just retweet my tweet, see if we can get anybody to come in. It's fine if this is a chill stream. We don't have a lot of chatters. We have a lot of people doing other stuff. We don't have a lot of live viewers. I understand that. There's always people that watch it later on YouTube because they can't watch in the evenings. So I get that. This is a very big, beautiful, cool kit. I hear there's a lot of issues with it. Yeah, I just rewatched the part of Thunderbolt this is from, and basically everything is messed up. Yeah, Lashbrook, the more because there are a few people that kind of push back on the on my decision to call it the Zaku, or the Gundam Thunderbolt Zaku, and not to call it its actual name. It's the name of the system and all that. But I stand by my opinion that I don't want to call it that, so I'm not going to. They can in the show, that's their choice. But I don't like it, so I'm not going to do it. We're going to the body. So as I said, there's a lot of English text here, which is, not 100% necessary, but certainly cool. I enjoy that. I like having some English language stuff that I don't have to kind of like look ahead to see what these warning signs they're giving me are, because they're just in it. That's cool. The Living Dead division is war amputees who are given prosthetic limbs by Zeons. Yes, I am aware of that. But I will say this. If you're referring to your soldiers as living dead, that sounds ominous and not... That sounds like you're the bad guy. Like Second Chance Division? Yes, and the Federation uses child soldiers. No, it's all bad news. None of it's good. It's all bad war shit. But I'm just saying this. If you call your division the Living Dead division, that's not... I don't think that's cool. I think that sucks. I think that's a shitty name. Sorry, I'm getting some... Well, Friend Request Live is now following. Thank you for the follow, Friend Request Live. Appreciate it. Turn this up just a tad here. Yeah, if you're watching and you're not already following, give me a follow, and then set your notifications so you know when I go live. I try to update that as best I can. It seems like when you update the title on Twitch in the dashboard, it takes a while to go into effect, so I'm going to stop updating that and instead just worry about... I just did this. Instead, I'm just going to, kind of update the titles. Not to update the notification, live notification, so we will know. All right, so there's a kind of a fun gimmick here. There's a bunch of gimmicks in this, but yeah, when the arms move out, there's a little resistance there. Nothing major. Putting little things on there. There are so many sheets in this kit. The trees are ridiculous here. Damn it. That. Okay, great. That's better. We'll do that. There are so many trees. I ran out of space in my shelving unit. I have the shelving thing here. I ran out of space for all this, so I'm also using the box. So Normally, even when I'm done with, if I'm done with a shelf and my shelving thing, I'll just leave it empty. But as we go, if there's any room, I'm going to be updating because I don't want to have to use the box here. And we will eventually go through some stuff because as we build it, we will finish off sheets and hopefully I'll be able to move those over. It's not a bad problem to have. Having a big old kit full of sheets to build on is certainly not a big deal. Excited about that. Let's see. There was sad news. Of course, this happened. Not of course, but this happened in the summer. But we're just now hearing about it. So I didn't know this. Okay, so here's the timeline. Uh, Let me look up the actual timeline here of my tweets here. An episode of season 2 of the Ace Attorney anime um, went out. And when it did, um, the creator of Ace Attorney, or the creative director, Shu Takumi, posted that because there's a dog in the background just running around, which is a missile. Posted that our real dog Missile passed away over the summer at the age of 11. So the timeline goes: Ace Attorney. There's a dog named Missile. Shu buys a Pomeranian, names that Pomeranian Missile. Turns out that's a very good dog. That dog is so good that when Shu makes Ghost Trick, there's a Pomeranian named Missile in Ghost Trick, which is both a callback to Ace Attorney, but also a real dog. And I didn't know about the real dog. I just assumed, oh, that's fun. He also named this one Missile. That's cool. No. That Pomeranian was a real dog. So I linked a couple things. I linked to the Ghost Trick theme for Missile. And then in 2013, they released a song in celebration of the 30-year anniversary of Ghost Trick about Missile. And it's a song from Missile's perspective about being a good boy. And then made me cry today. Was not expected to cry today about a real-life dog that I didn't know existed. Yeah. That was a good dog, and it was really sad to hear that the dog passed away. I didn't know that. One of my all-time favorite dogs in a video game is Missile from Ghost Trick. That's a real good dog, real good helper dog, real friendly, real nice, helps you out a lot. Real good dog. All right, so. Okay, so we got our pilot in here. Can't really see it too well. We slid our pilot in, and now we're closing our pilot in there. And we'll clamp the lid in. This is weird. So basically, like, there's a kind of interesting gimmick to this. I have to get it right. I have to do it right. But basically, it allows you to swing this open. Once it's in place, this will swing that open, which is cool. That's kind of cool. It'll reveal the cockpit. That's pretty neat. And then I got to put a thing in front. B2. But yeah, Missile is one of the best dogs in games. Right up there with dog meat, in my opinion. You know? I mean, Fallout. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite dog meat, I think. Because you could put, I don't know. I just think that it's kind of cool stuff. You can do some weird things with dog meat. I'm into it. All right, so then we gotta slide that over and then slide this on here. Whoops. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm doing this right. I don't want to fuck this up because this is a pretty cool little mechanic here. So I want to make sure I do it right. Do it over here. Hello and welcome everybody. If you're watching and you're not currently a subscriber, consider subscribing. If you are a subscriber, throw that Bear Cave emote in there. Let me know. Obviously, you don't have to chat. It is fun when people chat. I do like it. Or at the very least, consider giving me a follow. Turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. Yeah, so this is weirdly delicate work. I'm figuring out the best way to do this thing. Just gotta lock in like that for the pivot. Kind of put it like that maybe. And then if I press down to hold the pressure on it, maybe that'll work. What if I go like this? That. And then I just keep the pressure on. Slide that on like that. I think we did it. And then we want to test it now before we start adding other pieces on to make sure it works. And it does. Let's see if I can do that to this camera here. We'll go up here. We'll do it like that. Great. Revealing of a person. Revealing of a person. Oops. Oh no. Uh-oh. Stuck. It literally stuck. Damn it. Apparently I opened it too far. Well, that was fun. Fun while it lasted. Now I gotta pop this off. This piece off here. Let's see if we can get this off. Even if I loosen it up, maybe it'll work here. You know, I mean, once I build this, it's not like I'm going to be opening and closing it all the time. But if it's a gimmick, I want to have it work. I want to have the gimmick work. Especially when we only have so many pieces built. It's important to do that. I don't know. What's y'all's... Hey, chat, here's a topic for you. What's your favorite dog in video games? Don't say Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs doesn't count. So far we talked about Missile. We talked about dog meat. The various incarnations of dog meat. What's your favorite dog in a video game? Or media. We can break it up to media. If you want to break it to media. What's that? What's that game? Winter... What's the name of that dog? Super Dog. I'm looking it up because I can't remember. Nope. Well, there's Crypto, of course. There's a board game where there's a dog that's very cool in that board game. That's a cool dog. I forget its name. I was trying to look it up. I can't remember the name of the game. Alright, so we'll just leave that mechanic closed. Looks fine like that. Let's move on. But yeah. If you got a favorite dog, you can tell me in the chat, and we'll talk about that. Alright, so we need not that many of these pieces here, of our rubber pieces. Very few of them, really, compared. Obviously, to a high grade, you're going to have a lot of them to do joints. I hear the joints are a little brittle on this kit, can be tough, so I'm going to try to do it justice. Do our best with this. 18 and 19. Let's see. Anything other dogs? Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously, Scooby-Doo is one of the best dogs in media. Real good dog. Scrappy-Doo, bottom of the barrel. One of the worst dogs. One of the least good dogs. I don't know if it's a bad dog, but Scrappy-Doo is one of the least good dogs in all of entertainment. All right. Put that there. Put that there. So yeah, I kind of mentioned how Yu Hakusho is going off of went off is now off of Crunchyroll. Basically, if you didn't know, Funimation and Crunchyroll had a deal for a while where, um, sub shows are subtitle license at one place and dub license at the other, but the home video, DVD sales, that kind of rights were owned by a company, not them. Like Crunchyroll has actually paid for some shows to be dubbed that ended up on Funimation because they paid for that, and vice versa. Funimation paid for some shows to be subtitled, and then just showed it on but for home video and showed it on Crunchyroll. So those shows basically went away, or the work was done somewhere else. Like some shows, fine, but I know a few people whose queue has been decreased pretty severely. Not mine, but also I'm not watching much old stuff right now. I think I was rewatching the last arc of Yu Hakusho because I really like that show and because I was getting geared up for the OVA because there is a Blu-ray release that came out weeks ago that contains 2 new OVAs, original video animations, directly for the Blu-ray, and it got me hyped. And the first time I watched Yu Hakusho, the last arc, was bad. It was a bad translation, not a bad show, bad translation. I was watching a very poor quality fan sub back in the day, so it was nice to watch it again. And I didn't finish it, even though I knew it was coming up because it was like not what I want to watch, which happens. Sometimes that happens. There. All right. Just checking some stuff here. All right, so we're building here. We're building our okay, B21, and then A1. Ooh, we're gonna first off the A sheet. Now this isn't a gun. This is not a Gundam, obviously. So the A sheet doesn't have the crown and all the gold stuff you normally would see on that. Is this the right piece? Did I pull off A21 here? Nope, I didn't. I took A27 off. Where? Oh, I took F27. That's not even. It's like the wrong piece and not even the right. I goofed pretty bad on that one. It's our first goof. Hey, Asmo, welcome. So this will go off to the side, and then eventually I will notice that I don't have it on my sheet and grab it. That happens now and again. I'm not above royally screwing up. It happens. Happens to the best of us. Don't know what I did with. Here's B. Okay, so there's B, and then we need A27. Here's A. The one thing that happens sometimes with kits like this is the A sheet a lot of times is different colors and they kind of snap together like this. They can come unsnapped and it's annoying. And I usually just put it aside and deal with it later because it's annoying. These sections can be separated because they're coming off different trays. They're different plastics, or the same plastic with different colors. But yeah, I'm excited to work on this Zaku. I think it's going to be fun. Cowboy Bebop went off Crunchyroll, which is a shame for folks that hadn't seen it or were watching it again. I even know a few people that were watching some shows again that weren't paying attention, didn't know. There's a few. I listed a bunch of them on my Twitter. That was from the official thread on Crunchyroll about what they were losing. Oh, so I still have to do B21. Here's B21. Yeah, so working on the body here of Arzaku. I'm just going to try to take my time with these clippings. Some of this plastic is a little thin, and I already, the minorest of screw-ups. I cut out a piece early. It's like not a big deal at all. All right, so put that there. Still works. Our gimmick works. I just saw a tweet. You can buy Bebop for $10 on Amazon Video right now. That's cool. So if that's something you want, yeah, I know a few people that were like I'm not. I'm tempted to just buy a box set of Yu Hakusho, although I'm waiting to see if supposedly Funimation is going to put out a dub of the OVA episodes. So I'm on a wait and see with that. I've heard. Otherwise, or I could just buy the DVDs. I don't even know how far the Blu-rays or DVDs go. Sorry, dropped the thing, picked it up. I'm good. But yeah, I mean, like, basically for folks that really like things that are subtitled, buying, buying it digitally or buying it, A35, A36. Buying it digitally or buying, physical media is a way to make sure you don't lose it. That's the thing with all streaming. So Lashbrook, I haven't checked in with Dan about that. I don't know if they found them when they cleaned their office. I honestly don't think they were in the kit. I think the kit was missing sheets. Either it was a defective kit or someone previously had like repackaged it. Maybe the person who sent it to Dan got it used. It was pre-owned, and I don't know. I don't know for sure what happened there, but Lashbrook. But yeah, I don't know where that Vegeta went. It's really weird. He's still got the shuttle, and he's still got like weird little pieces of Vegeta, which is a strange thing that I just said out loud. But yeah, it's not the whole thing. That's strange. Very strange. All right, so that goes in like that, and then this goes. Look at that. All right, just put that on there, and we need A37 and B22. I have a theory. When you brought the test sprue for him to work on, did you bring the entire box or just one sheet? Just one sheet. And believe me, my bag, I went through my whole bag. Yeah, I didn't bring a whole box with me. I just brought a sheet and put it in my backpack. No, believe me, I tore apart my backpack to see if something had fallen in there, and that is unfortunately not. Like I thought, I did that during the show. I thought that might be the possibility, but fortunately, no. We don't know where it went. Not anime, I don't think, but I never watched Batman the animated series. But this week's Beastcast has me considering getting the new Blu-rays. So Asmo, um, it holds up and it's great. It's not anime, but the same art style is used in an anime called The Big O. So which is anime. But Batman the Animated Series is just really good. I highly recommend it. I think Mark Hamill's Joker is inspired and a really great version of the character. I think just about every villain is at their best in that show, with the exception of Scarecrow, who really doesn't get a lot. Like, I just think Bruce Timm doesn't like Scarecrow because there's not much of Scarecrow in the show. I think that's the only Batman villain that does. I mean, like Two-Face is incredible in it. I would have liked a little more Harvey Dent before Two-Face. You fucking feel bad for Mr. Freeze. You feel incredibly bad for Clayface. There's some there's some pathos. They try to do that in the Spider-Man with Sandman, like the movie. I think that's what that they're aping there. They're trying to like do the kind of Batman the miniseries, like actually feel bad for this villain and their circumstance. So we need R1 here. Yeah, so now, so I couldn't fit R in my usual stack, so I'm going to dig into a box, and that's just going to get bad. This is like when I used to just have them in a pile in the box in number or alphabetical order, but then have to dig around. It's less than ideal. But yeah, Batman the Animated Series I highly recommend. Um, it's great Batman, great Robins. I think Batgirl's good in it. Yeah, it lives up to the hype, I think, as being just an incredible series. Penguin's great. Yeah, it's just really really good. All right, so it's going to show me how this works. This goes like this. This goes, as always, when we're working on a kit that we don't know super well, the first half, the one side, if it's symmetrical, is kind of letting us know what's up, and the second side will be will be a lot easier. I think we're working on, we're working on the chest piece here. Rockets to come out of the chest. And that's this one. So they put that mechanic in here, but I don't know. You'd have to pull this off to slide it open. So I'm now a little annoyed that I worked to try to get that to work there. Oh well. This layered look is still very cool. All right, and this goes over here. Yeah. So I guess that's it. Hey, folks that are just joining us. Glad to have some folks here in the chat watching the show. If you're a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave emote in there. Let people know what's up, that you're here, ready to do it, which is watch me build this Zaku 2. Thanks for joining me, as always. This is a brand new kit for me to build here. A138. That's what we need. This piece here. Zaku 2 has some really good coloring to it. I love a lot of the colors in this. Some unique stuff. We don't really work in this orange that often. So that's fun. The red is cool. Although it is definitely a darker, there's really dark colors here. And this red, I'm going to show this red off. It is, I would describe this as vibrant. Look at that red. I think that the camera, this camera really, it really shines. It's such a beautiful red color. It just looks so good. It's a very good kit. Lots of silver as well. Or gold, I should say, not silver. Some gold accents. Some muted gold, some bright golds. It is a very cool kit. It's a lot. Like I said, it's a huge box. This is the box that it comes in. You can see these are all the sheets that don't fit on my shelving. It's quite a big box of stuff. So, hello, robot. So this was purchased by Urbina, Ian, and it was fun because it was purchased in Japan and shipped here. So instead of putting stuffing it in a box and then putting some stuff in between, what they did was this just came as the box, but it was wrapped in foam, foam packing material, and then just shipped internationally. So it wasn't like this big box inside another box. And I was like, oh, okay. because I was like, oh, this is a big box. Let me just take it apart here in the post office. I had to go pick it up and sign for it. So when I got it, I was surprised to see that it was just a huge box, just wrapped up and shipped. But I do have, when the day comes, I do have boxes that it'll fit in. Always have boxes that stuff will fit in. All right, so we did this one side. We're going to do the other side right now. As I said, this part wasn't hard, but it's always easier once you do it. As long as they're symmetrical. The shoulders are not symmetrical for the arms. The arms are symmetrical with the exception of the shoulders on the Zaku 2. The shoulders have one has a shield and one has spikes, which is very iconic for the kit. This is not our first Zaku. We did one other Zaku, as you might remember. We didn't do a Zaku. We did a Goof. So we've done a little bit of some of the other, non-Gundam kits, but we do primarily build Gundams. And of course, the Epion, which is not a. The Epion is not one of the main 5 Gundams in Gundam Wing, but it is designed to be like a Gundam and also includes the Zero system. So it is designed to be ostensibly a Gundam. Though, like based on Gundam design, it is. Some might call it the 6th Gundam. You have a yellow color here, so I have to highlight your name because I can't see what your name is here. Friend request live. You say that you're working on the MG Origin RX-78. We're watching this. Oh, that's great. We worked on a weird. We worked on the 78. I think it was 5. We worked on that weird one that was only in a video game because it had a bunch of cool weapons. But that's awesome. You feel free at any time to send me photos on Twitter of what you're working on, or if you're in about 20 minutes or so when I take a little break to promote myself, I'll mention my Discord, which you're free to join. Everyone's free to join that, and you can always post photos in there. There's a building photos section where people can post stuff they're working on, because I love seeing that when people include that stuff. All right, so we'll put this here. We need L, J, K, and L are in here. All right, so that's K. Here's L. And we need L1. There. We're finally going to get some of our red here, very distinct red. We need L1, L13, L213, and L132. Great. Yeah, Gundam Thunderbolt is not a show that I have seen, but when I saw this Zaku on Amazon, I was like, I am putting this Zaku on my wish list because it is incredible looking. I didn't know the lore behind it. And as I, mentioned, I don't really like the name, which is why we've been calling it the Thunderbolt Zaku too. Arbina, running late here, but super excited to see you cracking into this kit. Well, welcome. Ian, thank you so much for purchasing this. I just mentioned it on stream about how I got a notification that I wasn't home. My landlord wasn't home, so no one signed. I had to go to the post office to pick this up, and this giant box was waiting for me, wrapped up in like foam material, and just shipped like this. So it wasn't in another box, but everything's fine. The box, in fact, the box is in better condition than another kit that was sent by an anonymous person. Someone sent something from the first round of kits from Iron Blood Orphans, and that box was damaged, and that came in a Amazon box, which was also damaged. The kit's fine. It's just that box is bad. Both. Yes, that's right, Lashbrook. Both parts of Thunderbolt are up on Gundam Info's YouTube. Yes. I've been thinking about maybe checking it out, at least taking a glimpse. let's see. I've been talking a bunch about the Yu Hakusho show, so I did want to mention that I have seen. Um, uh, okay, okay. Just want to get these on right here. Um, I have seen the OVA. Glad to see it right in good condition. It did. Very good condition. So yeah, I have seen the OVA, 2 episodes, the 2 original videos for Yu Yu Hakusho. They uh, they are based on manga. One is a flashback about Hiei and Kurama meeting. The second is after the series ends, which there is some difference between the manga and the anime. Um, but it's after the series ends when they go in for basically one last job, to the point where Yusuke says he's getting the team back together, which I really liked, calling it the team. And also we get to see, not much of it, but Kuwabara enter the spirit realm, because in the last for the anime, the last series, the arc, Kuwabara is not there, because he's like, and also there's 3, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, so now we're putting some rockets in here. We need some A's and some E's. So we'll take our A's out and our E's out. Put that there. Put that there. And then we need E. 14. Cool. Kuwabara gets told to go home and be a family man. Right, yeah. I mean, he just can't, he knows that he's in over his league. I mean, he's not a demon or have demon blood inside him. He is just a pure human with spiritual powers, mainly from just hanging out and getting triggered. So he's a strong human. But it's getting serious. And then also it's like each of them, the remaining 3 join a different faction in this tournament to decide who's the new king. So like it makes sense that he's like, oh yeah, I can't like, oh, I shouldn't be here for that. Um let's see. Then we need 14 again. So yeah, it's nice to have him back. One of the things that is, Arabina says the Thunderbolt is very stylish and has great music, but even by Gundam standards, uses characters very poorly, especially the women. Is tough to recommend. Okay, well, that's good to know. Oh, hey, everybody that's joined us. Got some followers, some people watching here. If you're not currently following, consider doing that and turning on your notifications so you know when I go live. Also, if you're interested in becoming a subscriber, you can use your Twitch coin if you have Twitch Prime, which is linking your Amazon Prime account, your Amazon account with Twitch. Get you that. It used to get you a lot of stuff. Now, once you auto renew anytime in the future, it doesn't give you as much good stuff, but it does mean that you have a coin that you can use to act like $5 once a month. You can give it to somebody who would really appreciate it, and it's treated like real money for them. Okay, so we're gonna get some weird stuff here. I'm gonna finish off the easy things, and then I'm gonna have to think about how weird this next section is. We're working with some weird material here. I think it's gonna be fine, but if I fuck it up, I fuck it up. It'll just look like battle damage. But there's some weird materials we're using here. Frame covers and stuff to make our Zaku parts, which would in some instances be beads, but this one is like weird material. I don't know. We'll get there and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But there's some weirdness coming up in this kit. One thing I did want to say about Kuwabara. One of the nice things about going and watching Dragon Ball Super was the old Emperor Pilaf, because that in Japan is Kuwabara. That's the same voice actor does both, and he's done a bunch of stuff. He's been narrators. He's been in a few things, but Pilaf's yelling sounds a lot like Kuwabara's yelling. Same voice actor, of course. And so that was really nice to hear. I really enjoyed that. Um, Even young Emperor Pilaf still has that yell sometimes that really sounds like Quabra. So that was nice. But then I got to hear him in this. All four of the original voice actors are back for this Hakusho OVA. It's currently not licensed in the United States. I found a okay but not great fan sub of it. I'm wondering if people will do a better one. I'm kind of looking around. I feel like, obviously I want to pay for my anime. I want to pay for it all the time. Fan subbed when I was younger, and there were no options. Now there are options, but that's on a Blu-ray Japan only Blu-ray release, so it's not available in the United States right now, and so there is no legal way to watch it with proper subtitles, and so I illegally watched it. I don't love it, but I did it. All right, so we're gonna put some more pieces on here. Gonna get this going here. Like I said, there are a lot of sheets to this kit. A lot of trees. I'm looking forward to getting through some of it so that I have less of them to worry about. But we'll be living in this Saku kit for a while. Robot says you just finished your RG Shinjuku. I forget how to say that, but I have that on my wish list. That's a cool looking kit. I wouldn't mind building that someday. I want to build that Grimgard. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna bring the Grimgard next because someone anonymously bought that for me. I don't know who bought that. The Iron-blooded orphans. Y'all have not been correcting me. I built an Iron-blooded orphans kit and did not say, and continuously said Iron Blood, and no one corrected me, so I appreciate that. But yeah, I've been saying blood instead of blooded. But I got that Grimgard, and I'd like to build that. And then at some point, I got to build that 160 scale Wing Gundam, the Wing Zero. I want to big that big old Gundam. All right, so now we're at the point where we have to cut out the frame thin to 10 centimeters. Be careful not to tear the frame cover thin. This sucks. I-9. Oh, this is step I-9. That's right. Okay, so what's the frame cover? You add wrinkles to the frame cover thin. 10 centimeters of the frame cover thin. This is not the... This is the... Yeah. And then you... Wait. Add wrinkles to the frame cover thin. Stretch out the frame cover thin as shown. I gotta figure out which one is the frame. This is like, there's this weird. I have to do what? Yeah, I know. Lashbrook, this is weird. The HG Reincar is a very nice case. Well, oh, yeah. Okay, so let's look at this. There are a couple parts in here that aren't needed because of this version, which is weird to say. We got some water decals, which I don't work in. Okay, so we've got some pieces here that are we've got pipe spring. That's these two. We know what that is. That can go over here. We've got frame cover thin, which is 4 pieces. we've got frame cover medium and frame cover thick. I think this is the thin one because there are 4 of them. And then I don't know which one of these is medium and which one of these is thick because there's only 2. I'll have to actually, and they're not labeled in any way. The cellophane isn't labeled. What I'll have to do is research that online. For the frame colors, there's a little ruler up at the top of the page, and they cut really easily with an X-Acto knife. Yes. I'm probably going to use my snipper clips just to clip these, which they'll still cut very nicely. But yes, this is one of the things that's like, what? And I've got a screwdriver to help me kind of like scrunch this up. But I got 2 of these. And the green baggie is the thick ones. The yellow is the medium. So the green one is the thick one. Thank you for telling me that. The green is the thick one, and the yellow is the medium, and these are the thin ones. And then I want to cut the frame cover thin to 10 centimeters. And then this is really weird. You say this is definitely the hardest part of this kit. So, is this like a actual tube that opens up? Am I like, well, I'll cut it while I ask this question. Ian, if you feel like answering, there is a ruler up here, and so I will cut that at 10 centimeters. Put a mark there and cut that. And I'm just going to use the snipper clips to cut it. I have an X-Acto knife, just not on me right now. It's in the other room. So that's 10 centimeters. And that's also 10 centimeters. So I just cut it in half, so I can just use the 1 to 10 centimeters. And then it shows it as like a tube, and it goes into B23. It is in fact a tube. Okay. So B23 is, where'd B23 go? Oh, fell. Okay, so B23 is here. So this goes into this, and it crinkles. You add crinkles to the frame cover. Stretch out the frame color as shown in the image. So this is going to go feed, so this is going to go over this and crinkle up and line this piece. And then this is going to go from here to here, as you can see in the that'll go like that and stick in. And I'll do the same thing on the other side with the other one. So I'm going to take a screwdriver. This might be too big. Yes. All right, I'll try tweezers to open up this tube a little bit here. So we'll do our best with this. If this doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I'll be fine with that. I'm going to try to find the opening in this. I'm going to use where I cut because I feel like that would be a good place to look at it. There it is. Okay, I got it open. Alright, so I got it open a little bit here. And it goes like this. Yeah, so it is a tube. I got it open. And then, whoops, came out. But I bent it and opened enough that it will stay open. So I can find it again. And then, gonna want to feed it through. And as I feed it through, I can kind of crumple it. And then, as I'm going through, I'm opening it and I'm trying to pull it gently through so I don't rip through it. And kind of crinkle it up as we go through. I'm trying to talk over so I'm not just doing this for everybody here. But I ripped through it. Okay, so I ripped through it. So I'm gonna kind of back out a little bit. Try to open it up from the other side here. I'm actually gonna snip the ends a little bit, so it's not uniform. And I'm going to try to open it up from the other side, which I should have done probably in the first place, was really open it up as much as I could so that I'm not using the piece of plastic to open it up, and instead I'm using these tweezers. This is really weird. This is a really weird part of this kit. This is a master grade after all, and sometimes you do get weird materials. But this is pretty unusual, even for this. All right. Okay, I've now just about opened this up on the other end. Ian, I'm glad you were here for this because I would have been struggling to figure out what I was doing wrong with this if you hadn't been here. Still, obviously, fucking this up, but alright, so let's try to open this here. It's easier than threading a needle, but it's still not great. Okay. I'm trying to open this up without making the hole that I made in this worse. And we'll see if that helps me pull this through. Alright, I think I'm almost done with it. Almost out the other side. I'm happy to help out. It's definitely a tricky thing. Yeah, it just seems real weird. I'm glad you know. And then I'll just remember green is the thickest and then yellow is the middle one. Alright, so we'll do this here. Pull this through. Crinkle it up a lot. Then kind of open it up some. I mean, it's supposed to look like tubing. And I don't know if it does, but it definitely has texture to it that you don't normally see on a piece of a kit. So that's interesting. And then we'll put that on here. Just going to put it where it goes. Yeah. I mean, that looks different. And now we'll do the same thing on the other one, which is B24. already a very unique kit. Um, yeah, it's weird. Let's see. Was I done talking about Yu Hakusho? Yeah, I was talking about how Pilaf is Quabra's voice actor. That was a fun thing to discover. You know, the early days of Dragon Ball, the first the first bunch of the original Dragon Ball episodes, I watched dubbed first, and then went back and watched a lot of the subtitles. But I didn't watch the first arc dubbed or subtitled for a very long time. I mostly watched it again um, uh, in the dub because that's the first time I experienced it. So I didn't go, and hear all those actors until I started watching the subtitle stuff that didn't come out in in English dub years later. So I'm much more familiar with later Dragon Ball uh, in English, or in I should say in Japanese, and the Japanese voice actor, and the voice actor for Goku and all that. Uh, I think when I heard the English voice actor King Kai, because I knew what King Kai sounded like, and then when I heard the English one, I was like, this is very good. I think that's King Kai. English language King Kai is an incredible choice and is very, very good. Huge fan of that. All right, so we opened up both ends here. The middle's not opened up. Let's see if this is this thin enough. No, that's gonna rip it. If I do that, do I have anything thin that will go in there? Maybe this. Nope, that won't. That won't. Okay, put that aside. Um, but I think we're in a better spot than we were on the other one as far as getting this on here. Uh, opening this thing up. Yeah, I think it always feels like if I watch anime dubbed first, I don't mind the dub in most cases. And then if I watch it subtitled first, then the dub bothers me. But not all dubs are created equal. Some do a good job, others do not. It depends on how it's localized, right? If it's going for like gags that don't exist, or if it's trying to be something that make the anime something it's not, it could be really bad. But if it's true to it, if it's like true to the scripts, oops, ripping again. I wonder if that happens every time, or if that's just me. But yeah, I did rip this again here. It's not a straight piece, so it's kind of hard to get this in just right. There we go. But yeah, I mean that's always been my opinion on anime is just I don't mind a good dub I should say, not good dubbed. A good dub, don't mind it. Bad dub, hugely disappointing. Okay. So this doesn't look great. This one I ripped too much, and so now I'm going to try to fix it by getting the crinkles in. But yeah, you can see because there's a rip in it, it's just popping right out and doesn't look good. So I'm going to try to put it on here and then kind of wrap things around it. Hey Pat, just got it. How's the build? Hi, washable markers. So it's going well. We're doing a weird thing where we have these strips here of material, and we're covering part here. You can see I did one of them. It's to make it look more like tubing and make it look like a different kind of element to it. And I didn't do a great job on one of these here, and so I'm trying to kind of fix it. And it's okay because it's just wear and tear. otherwise. But it is like a unique thing. But yeah, we're working on the Zaku 2 from Gundam Thunderbolt, and otherwise the kit's going well. Going for an hour. Um, Happy to have folks here in the chat. A big thank you to Ian Urbina for purchasing this kit off the wish list, which I will be talking about in a moment. Um, Actually, right now. Yeah. Oh, it's 10 after 10. It's time to take a break and say hello, hello. If you're watching here, if this is your first time watching, you're watching later on YouTube. Check the show description for these links. But it's time in the stream, about an hour in, where I just kind of promote what's going on. Uh, Oops, we're getting some drop frames there. Are we okay? Okay, great. Um, where I just kind of promote what's going on with me, and say, hey, if you think about subscribing using your Twitch coin or your hard-earned money, that would be awesome. Money I make through Twitch goes to me buying more kits to make on Twitch, or maybe buying a video game if there's something I really want to cover through my game stuff. I also have a Patreon. $1 you get a Q&A video, which I'm going to film next week. I do a monthly Q&A video that just goes to my Patreon. $5 a month, you get videos like this video will go online on my YouTube. The archive, it's a better quality than the Twitch version, will go up there, and then it'll go on YouTube tomorrow for everybody else. Any video I make always goes up early, so also tomorrow on Sunday, I will put up my Let Pat Play that goes up on Monday for everyone else. You can get that early as well. And then $10 gets the votes on the kits I make. This kit, it was this or my Grimgard, which were both bought off my Amazon wish list, which I just put a link to in the show description. Amazon wish list, I constantly update it. Some Lego stuff just went off of Amazon. I put some new stuff up. I'm going to highlight a couple things that I think are very cool that are on my Amazon wish list that I would love to build on this stream. There is the Oni Titan, which is a Lego Ninjago, Ninjago. And there's another dragon that has like what appears to be fabric wings or plastic wings. That looks cool. I also put up some stuff on my Amazon wish list that's just like things that would be nice to have. When I'm setting up this table, I have to move my computer, which is currently on the floor. I put this little stand caddy there that's on wheels. That would be nice just to have, and it's adjustable, and I could put my case on that and move it around like that. That would be cool. There's a few other things. There's some pre-order stuff. Looks cool. Of course, plenty of Gunpla on there, and some Dragon Ball stuff. Just stuff that would be fun to do on the stream. Most of it's Amazon Prime related. Some of it isn't, or that used to be and now isn't. I try to mix things up. But and then at the bottom there's some other stuff. I'd like to replace this current what's it called? Oh, umbrella. I have a soft umbrella for the light that's over there. I need to replace that because it's falling apart. Right now it's got some tape on it, and that's not great. And then the last thing I'll say is, or last two things. One, I also have a coffee, Ko-Fi. That's just a tip jar. If you just feel like throwing me a few bucks, like I said, money I make on that, even ad revenue from YouTube, which will take forever to get back to the point where they have to pay me again, because I don't make much money or any on YouTube. That just goes to me buying more kits or equipment. Like I said, there's one piece of equipment I'd like to do. Or you can just spread the word. That's another great thing. If there was a video on YouTube, a link on YouTube, you want to send that out, you want to retweet me when I go live. If you have a friend in your life that likes Lego or Gunpla, you think would like this, or just like chatting about anime. We still have one more show to talk about, which we'll talk about after the break, about anime that we're discussing. And then also the discussion could go off stream to the Build with Bear community. Build with Bear community is pretty cool. It's for place. There's a forum for people to post photos of things they're working on. You can always tweet those to me as well. There's a place for people to promote their own stuff, because if you like me, maybe you'll like the people that like me and what I do. I don't know. So that's just a thing. those are those things. That's all that is. Thank you very much, everyone who does support me on this channel. It means a lot to me. You know, if you can't give money, but you can give good vibes or talking in the chat, watching my streams to get my views up, all that stuff means a lot. I am an affiliate here on Twitch, so I do get money from Twitch. And you can subscribe, and you get the emote. I'll throw that. The Bear Cave emote is the $5. There's a $10. Iron Souls and I get to use the $10, which is the Lego emote. I don't know. Next week will be my normal streaming schedule of Thursday and Saturday, the 15th and 17th of November. The 22nd and I will not be streaming on the 22nd. I'll stream on the 23rd instead. The 22nd's American Thanksgiving. And I don't know. I kind of chose not to do a stream that day. I'm going to be with friends. And that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that. A little Friendsgiving. And so I'm going to stream that Friday instead. Same time, 9 p.m. And that Saturday will be the same. And then the 28th, which is a Wednesday, I'll be streaming instead of the 29th because the 29th I travel to PAX Unplugged and I'll be setting some stuff up. I might go live. It won't be a build stream. I might just like stream off my phone, or I might test the Wi-Fi because I'm gonna bring a Lego set. I have a Ray Speedster or Speeder kit. It's a small kit, and so I figured I'd bring a Lego set with me, like a small Lego set, and do that when I am in, if I'm available, if it works. Not if available, if it works. I'm going to try to. I want to. I don't like not streaming on a regular schedule. I don't like, taking a day and not doing it. I will be there to work. I'm working when I'm at PAX. It is my vacation. It is fun. It's also work. But I still like to stream with all y'all and talk about what's going on with me. I thought I might go to Anime NYC. I was thinking about going for a day, just trying to get a day pass to it, which is next weekend, I believe. I'm going to double check. If it was this weekend, I fucked up. No, it's next weekend. Okay, yeah. So that's next weekend because the race speedster kit's cool. Been on my wish list for years. Yeah, I think it looks cool. It's also a small little kit, so I felt like I could do it in one session, no problem. In fact, it wouldn't last. I'd finish it before a regular session. All right, so I need A112s and C7s to go with these here. So let's do that. Yeah, I was thinking about going to Anime NYC, but honestly, my funds right now are a little depleted. Getting ready for some conventions and stuff. I also, yes, that's what I was thinking, Asmo. That it would be a good thing if to do on a shorter stream, where I wasn't super confident with what the equipment was going to be like or what the Wi-Fi was going to be like. No, the thing that I'm more than anything, a thing that I'm kind of like funds aren't great because I did book an Airbnb and have to pay for half of it up front. Luckily, I don't have to pay for the whole thing up front because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. For a PAX East Airbnb, a room, because tickets went on sale and they announced the dates. I could have found the dates early if I had asked, but I try not to ask for things that are like I don't need to worry about, and instead wait to hear, to ask for things that like mean something or important, or like, yeah, I try not to bug them with things like, hey, tell me when that is. I'm sure that they tell plenty of people are asking them all the time about when things go on sale and when things are available and all that. I really wish that PAX East was the same weekend every year. It would be fucking rad if it was, and I didn't have to worry about it being in March or April. It's the end of March this year, or the next year. But yeah, I'm going to go to that, so I had to pay for that. So basically, I decided that I really didn't have the funds to go to Anime NYC. Because if I was going to go to Anime NYC, it was mostly to go buy something from Bluefin. So if I don't really have the money to do, I don't really have the money to do that right now. So I'm not going to go do that. And I thought about doing like, hey, like really promoting my coffee this week. So I'll say this: if I get a free day pass, because it's a 3-day convention, if I can get a day pass to Friday or Saturday, and that does not cost me any money, um, then I will scrounge up some cash and go buy an exclusive Bluefin kit or something cool to build. If I can't get a ticket for free, I'm not going to spend $40 to go spend more because there's not a lot of other stuff that's really appealing about the convention for me anyway. Um, so I'm kind of looking into that. If I can get a free pass on Friday or Saturday, I'll go do that. I'll go buy some stuff. It'll be cool. And if I can't do that, then I will. Then I won't worry about it. All right. So we finished by putting this backpack in, locking this in. So the other thing is we're gonna do 2 more of these. We've got 2 more of these to do because we have to do the head ones eventually. But we're gonna work on the head now. Now that we finished the chest here, let's build our head unit. We need PC1. All right, PC1 is this piece here. That, and some Fs. Okay, so the other anime that I want to talk about is it's another cute one. You know, I have found this show to be mostly harmless. I think the main character is a little weird, but I do like Ms. Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood. I think it is a very cute, fun show. The introduction of new characters or more characters has made it so it's like it flows better. Now that we have 2 vampires, and one of the vampires, Ellie, wants to be friends with Hinata, the other human. So it balances back. Because Akari is weird. She's lots of drooling kind of mess of a character. I like her, but she's a little messed up. One thing that happened in this episode that was fun, it was like kind of like 2 parts to it. One of the things I thought was really fun was it opened with one of, and I forget her name, one of the main character Akari's friends is the only member of the high school's occult club and wants to interview Sophie because it's a real vampire. Like she met her, she wants to interview her. And the very first episode, the reason why the whole show exists is because this occult girl was telling Hikari about the kind of stories that are happening about this like living doll that is in the woods. And of course, Hikari wants to meet this living doll because Hikari loves dolls. That's the whole thing. That's the whole like thrust of the show. That's why the show exists, is because Hikari is big on dolls and wants to meet a living doll, and then ends up meeting our hero, Sophie Twilight, the vampire. Alright, so put this on here. This goes like this. And then this goes in like this. Yeah, we're working on our head unit right now. Yeah, so it was kind of nice to go full circle and have Hikari meet and talk to real vampire. She meets both vampires, and it's just kind of fun. And then there's a thing where they go shopping, and it's silly and cute, harmless in a way. Okay, so then we need B9 and A. So we would put on a sticker on this piece that we're going to put in here, but we're not going to do any of that. None of that. No water stickers on this. No, none of that. That's for other people that want to do it later. Not worrying about that. This kid is complicated and weird, and I'm not going to fret about that. Uh, A13. Also, this is a clear piece, so I'm fine with this clear piece just being in there. I wonder what sticker it was. I don't know. I don't even want to look it up. But yeah, I could put a sticker on this very clear piece right there. Um, what's the Pokemon Go update? Uh, oh, uh, was there a recent one other than just the new Pokemon that came out? Was there an update that came out today or something? I mean, mostly the up. Oh, an update on Pokemon Go. I mean, I got a new friend that I'm excited about. I did not catch a shiny today. There was there were some shinies possibly available out there, and I did not catch one. So hopefully tomorrow I do on my way to work. I'm loading it up. But yeah, I got a couple fun things the other day. Um, the there's a couple that showed up, but yeah, I let's see here. Sininja I got, or Shedinja or whatever I got. That's pretty cool. Um, let's see here by recent. Yeah, Cyndaquils. There's a bunch of Cyndaquil out there, but unfortunately, uh, I did not catch any shiny Cyndaquil, which are also apparently out and about. But I did catch this Marowak, which is green. It's a shiny Marowak, and it looks like a turtle, and that's cool. And there's a Cubone that's also green, and it's not as cool. Uh, yeah, yeah, Lashbrook. I think I think I part of the way through that episode. That show is horny. Oh yeah, and Shedinja, the Halo thing. It's got a Halo on it. That's not shiny. I just caught it. Um, yeah, that anime is pretty horny. It makes sense. It is by the people that put it out. I'm not surprised. Shiny Houndour last week. That's awesome. I did not get that. Uh, I've gotten a few more shinies over the weekend, but that's not one of those. Um, that would have been cool. I mean, I looked at a million Stantlers in the past 2 days, and none of them were shiny, and I was disappointed because I don't know what a shiny one is. I don't tell me, don't link me, because I just imagine it's got a shiny red nose, because you know, it's a reindeer, but I don't know. Yeah, I am behind on Gridman, but I like it. Radiant, I ended up. I'm not super into Radiant right now. Um, I kind of decided not to keep watching that. It's fine, just not great. All right, so then this goes like this. So you can see that there's some cool mechanics in here. Let's see if the overhead can pick that up. Uh, this is the head here. As it turns, a bunch of there's some gears work happening here. So the eye can move. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, so let's finish the rest of the undergate parts here. We got to do L135, L131. All right. L135 and L131. What's this? So let's finish. Yeah, we're building the head here, and then we will have to then do more of our weird bendy parts to it. Uh, The latest update for Pokemon Go that's the best part is the health stuff, where just having it walking around can help you have Pokemon hatch, and that's pretty cool. That is a very cool part of it. All right, so then we put if you set that up, if you set up your health stuff, you don't have to have it open for the walking to count. And then also, if you hit certain milestones of walking kilometers, you get stuff. Mostly, the usual Pokeballs, but it's still cool that they want to reward you for fitness. Appreciate that. All right, so we need A1, 4, and B11. Yeah, we'll go to 11 o'clock tonight. Speaking of 11, haha, yeah, nailed it. We'll go to 11 p.m. tonight, and then, uh, I'll be back next Thursday again to stream. Let's see. I need to set that up. It's cool that the app doesn't need to be opened. Yeah, it's I think it just needs to be. I think you need to have opened it and minimized it. It can't be like, like the thing where you hold the home button down and release it. I think so if you open it up and then like exit out, minimize it, it'll work, which is pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna do that frame cover thing again in a minute. Once we put this on here. Then put that on here. So yeah, the head turns. It's got some movement to it. It's pretty cool. There's more parts of the head here, but we still have to do this other extra part, which is okay. So I'm gonna get B13 and B12 out. Let's see. So B13 is this one. B12 is the other. All right, so we're doing this again, where we're gonna put more crinkle friends on here, but this one we get a new sheet for it. New one of these, and again, we're going to use the guide here and clip them to the guide, and then we will add them to both ends here, and then crinkle them up. And I'm kind of doing it regularly so that it will be easier to cut, to hopefully open it up. And then we'll save the extra. I don't know if we'll need it, but we'll save it. And then, then we're just going to use the tweezers that I have here in my iFixit kit. The tools I have here, in case you haven't been watching, time, the sponger, they all come from this kind of kit that's meant for like fixing iPhones and smartphones, I should say, not just iPhones, smartphones in general. It just was a kit that made a lot of sense having that kind of stuff. Sometimes you put things together and you really need to get in there and separate them, and you don't want to use your snipper clips or wire cutters for that job. You want to use something else. So I have found anyway that it makes sense for me to do. It makes a lot more sense for me to use some tools. And I don't use the tweezers that often, but for this case, I'd rather use that than this thing to open this up. I'll tell you what, I will be happy when this step is over and the head is done. Or we can move on to the other parts of the head. Oh, got it in there. Okay. So we can open this up here. One side. And then my goal is to kind of start it on this uh, and scrunch it up on my tweezers so that it slides into this piece better, so that the corner here doesn't just poke through like it did both times on my other ones. So that's the hope anyway, is by doing it like this on my tweezer, then I'm making my life easier. I do run the risk of this tweezer just cutting through it and poking it out, but the poke should be lighter than, or it should be easier to deal with than ripping it like I have both other times on both of these. I can also go back in and replace this and do it again if I want to, but I'm fine with it. Looking not great right there. All right, so we scrunch this up. We've already done it once. Now theoretically, I'm going to put this through here. Yeah, doesn't look bad. Okay, get this part through here. Sorry, I got quiet there, y'all. Trying to talk. Try to get this done. Oh, here's a good goof that I put on my Twitter. So today, Xbox made a bunch of announcements. There's some stuff coming, some things. There's a mouse and keyboard thing that works natively with Fortnite when it comes, when the thing comes out. There's a bunch of stuff they talked about. One of the things they listed for when Game Pass comes to the PC through Windows 10 PCs, they listed some games that are coming to it, and one of them is Swery's game, The Good Life. It's Swery's new project that he did a Kickstarter for, which originally they said digital codes would be for PS4. So now they can offer it to Xbox codes as well, which is awesome and really great for backers. But one of the things that happened was The Good Life is not the only game called The Good Life. And there's fucking evidence of this. This is not a joke. The 2012 game called Good Life, that box art is the art they used for The Good Life in their promos of the games that are coming out. So somebody really fucked up. And luckily, Swery is, he's still really happy. He's happy that he can announce it. He's happy for backers of it. They have an option. It's cool. His game's coming to another platform. More people will play it. But it does suck that they fucked up that bad. Really sucks. I hope they make good. I hope somebody, I don't want anyone fired or anything, but I want somebody to have to be like, oh yeah, shit, that was me. Maybe Major Nelson can talk it up. Get Larry out there doing his thing. I didn't watch the event. I was just following along on Twitter, and that stood out to me. All right, so we are poking holes through this as we try to do it. I was trying to do it a little faster than the other one to get on to the next step, but this is still way easier and a way better idea than what we were doing previously, so it still worked out way better. All right, so if we put that on, we figure out this one goes this. Great. So there's our tubing. Those two tubing pieces are done. And then just go on here. This. And that. And then there'll be something going in to lock these in place. Because I can't imagine you just leave it like that. So now we'll get the thing that, yeah, there's a thing that locks in place. Don't let the frame cover thing get caught when attaching. So we need L134. Do the hands on this kit have individual articulated fingers? I actually don't know. I haven't gotten to look at the fingers yet. I mostly was looking at this stuff overall. They are individual fingers here. It looks to be. We'll see if, obviously we'll get there. We're not going to get there today. Today we're focusing on the body and the head. The arms will come in the future, and we'll get a sense of that. I can kind of do a quick look forward. So this looks like we have our index finger, and we just have a fist. That looks to be is that we have index finger and fist here, which is Q. Because I can always look at Q here. It's N, P. Yeah, that looks to be. Yeah, that looks like it's not full articulation. It's a master grade, but which it does sometimes do that, but not always. Usually, it's mostly the claw to hold the weapon. You gotta go perfect grade if you want all your fingers in there. When we do the arms, we're going to be dealing with the middle, which is the yellow. We'll take these, and that's going to get scrunched up again. So don't worry. We will have more of that as we start building the arm. So if you were like, oh no, we're almost done with the crinkly things. No, we got more. Alright, so then I need 34. Yeah, don't you worry. If you were like, oh, I like these weird crinkles, I wish that they would be on there all the time. Don't worry about it. Folks that just joined us, hello and welcome. We are working on the Zaku 2 from Gundam Thunderbolt. We did previously in this stream. We worked on the body, the kind of like chest piece here. Now we're working on the head. We're going till 11 p.m. Eastern Time, so we're here for a little bit longer. Yeah, but we did this part here. It's all as many colors. Now working on the head of this Zaku 2. Then we need a 126 L133. Cut that out. Any tips for displaying completed figures Lego sets? So, washable markers. If you're doing a model kit, look online for. You can find them in hobby shops that deal with that stuff, or on Amazon. The black base stands are really good. The clear ones I like too. I think the black ones look better. For depending on the kit you're making, stands are always going to be great. One thing I like to do with my Lego sets that I have displayed, I have 3 of them on display now, is I like putting the box behind it. So I can't do it here, but so if this was the kit, the box would be standing like this, so you can see what it looks like on the box. It kind of gives us a backdrop. It's not as static. Also, stands are going to be great for battle poses. Battle poses are awesome. If your kit has articulation, Uh, it's gonna really make the kit shine, really look cool. Uh, so I do recommend that. Um, to really kind of make the thing stand out. Like have the weapons out if it's got weapons. Lego sets will allow some to kind of do cool poses. Arbina says as far as Gundam stuff goes, the Bandai Action Base, the 100, yeah, and 144 are both good and allow you to do cool posing. Yeah, the Dragon Ball Rise, which is the model kit figure sets, come with some base stuff for some of the weapons, and then the other ones are sold separately for that. But the blasts have their own little stands, and I think that looks really cool and really sharp. Um, I recommend. But yeah, I think the box behind it. Not all boxes look cool, and some of them are huge comparatively. Like a some 144 scale boxes are going to look just silly behind a Gundam. But for the Lego sets, especially the bigger Lego sets, I think it just kind of like gives it a nice sharp frame to it. I'm a huge fan of that. I have 3 Lego sets displayed right now. You'd actually be surprised. You might be surprised to know I don't have any of my desk sites on display. I would like to do that eventually. Right now they're all boxed up, but I do have so many desk sites. It would be kind of cool to have them all out. I should get them out at some point uh, for display purposes. Okay, so let's get this helmet on here. There it is. There's our Zaku head, which we can put on here. There it is. We got some time. We'll get started on an arm. Thanks. I am moving my Lego from one room to another. I need to think about placement. Yeah. I don't think I have any photos of it currently of the display, but I have 3 kits out right now. The Lightning Jet, which we just built pretty recently. It's so big that I want to display it. The Millennium Falcon, which is 2011 Millennium Falcon, not the biggest one possible, the one smaller than that, still huge. And the Y-Wing are on display, and they're great. And they're just the top row of my shelving unit. Um, Eventually, I'm gonna get a curio cabinet because I need that shelf space. And I thought I would I'm going to eventually purchase, it might be my Christmas gift. I might get some money to Home Depot or IKEA, get a gift card, and build some sort of like corner cabinet to display some of my Lego sets, and also some of my Gundam, because I can't right now. I shouldn't um, be taking up shelf space because for all the kits I have in there. I should say. Luckily, my roommate doesn't use the living room for anything. He's got a couple shirts in there in his closet. Is the living room closet. But PC 14. This one. I'm gonna get this arm started. I'm gonna do in the time we have available. I'll do one of the sleeves here, just to kind of get that going, and of course we'll do the other one uh, on Thursday when we return to model kit building. So we're doing the right arm first here, which is the arm that has the shield on it, which is a classic look. It's part of what makes the Zaku 2. What really makes it look cool. Obviously, this one is an odd model. It has a lot of extra stuff, all the backpack stuff. But at its core, it still has one shield and one spiky shoulder pad. It's still that Gundam, or that Gunpla. Alright, let's put it there. And then this is going to go in here. Alright. Sorry, I'm just getting this in right. Okay. And then that goes in there. And then we need some G pieces here. We need a C3. This piece. Yeah, so working on our arm. Like I said, we're just going to finish this up. We'll do one of these crinkle things here. The medium, which is the yellow. And then we need G, which is here. 1G. We have not used anything off of G yet, so I gotta find it there. 17 and 16. One thing I did want to say about the Yu Hakusho OVA stuff is that it's fun to hear all those characters again. It's just fun to see them mostly. Uh, it's like it is getting the gang back together. That anime was very formative to me. I love it a lot. I'm a huge fan. It's one of my favorite series of all time. So it was kind of nice to have something new for it. Um, I don't want to spoil any of it, but it's pretty cool. There's basically like a getting the band back together episode, and then the other one is a flashback that's also in the manga. Um, that was good too. All right, so we'll put that in there. We'll put that on there, and then let's get our front cover. Oops! Oh no. C and then G goes in there. Dropping stuff. Try not to drop things. Okay, so then we got to take the yellow one. We get into the yellow one here. And this one, it says there's no size. We're just going to put the whole thing on this. So let's open it up. And then add wrinkles to frame cover using tabs to hold it in. Stretch out the frame cover as shown in the image. This one should be easier to open because it is, yeah, this was a lot easier to open because it's wider. And it's a lot easier to crinkle it ahead of time. We'll put this on. And then there are these tabs that hold it in place. So you can kind of crinkle it down and around and crinkle it through. I keep saying crinkle. I'm going to try to not say that word for the rest of this stream, which is only a couple more minutes because we'll wrap up in a minute or two. Once again, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Twitch coin, use your hard-earned money, support the stream. Let me keep building stuff. The more people that subscribe, the sooner I get my payout, and I get paid, and then I can buy more kits or equipment that I need. I should be good for most of the rest of this month because I did that original piece and because this kit and another kit were sent to me off my wish list, which is another great way to support the stream is through that. All right. This doesn't look as good as the other one, but maybe the other arm will look way cooler than this one when we do it on the other arm. Either way, it's cool. There's a lot of stuff goes over this. Oh, Party of One just subscribed. Thank you very much, Party of One, using your Twitch Prime coin. Your segment on GB Extra live stream is making me heavily consider getting some DBZ model kits. Party of One, they are great. The Vegeta one is expensive because it has the ship. The smaller ones, the Majin Kid Buu, your Krillins, your Gohans, those are going to be a bit more inexpensive. Amazon, they're ones that have free shipping. Some of the ones that don't. You can also try, if you have a place that sells Bandai stuff, that sells, uh, Gundam and stuff like that, they would have them in stock. You're probably not going to find them in Kmart or anything, but hobby shops will have them, and they're a fun build. We've done some on here. Yeah, you thought you'd start with a good old Goku. Yeah, I mean you can get Blue Goku. I've gotten Super Saiyan Blue Goku, or uh, there's a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I believe, which just looks funky. But yeah, all right. So we did our crinkle dumbness here, and then we're just gonna cover it basically. You're not gonna see much of this when we put stuff on it, but thank you, Party of One, for getting in that with that subscription right here at The Wire, because we are going to wrap things up today. The archive of this will be available almost immediately VOD here on Twitch. It will be on my YouTube tomorrow, sometime after noon Eastern. Usually around noon is when I put them up. $5 Patreon users get the video not right away, but it's got to process and go up on YouTube. So they'll get it in like an hour and a half after it's done processing, because it's a 2-hour video. It takes a little while to upload from my apartment. My upload is not great, and processing takes time. But yeah, that's going to do it for me for today. Thanks everybody that hung out. Thanks for chatting. We're going to be working on this Zaku for a while. We did the head and body here. We still have to do the rest of this arm, the other arm, 2 legs, the waist, and then a whole lot of backpack. Like this kit. I think I showed it. This kit's got a ton of backpack. It's a big old weapon and a bunch of backpack pieces. It's a backpack kid right here. There's a ton of weapons too. There's like an axe and sniper rifle and different guns, and it's just the backpack has different components to it and different frames, and it's a lot. Thank you very much, Washable Markers, for hanging out. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Started with not too many people. People joined as we went, which is awesome. Urbina says, yeah, it has a kickstand for it because it is really big. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great rest of your Saturday, great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time when I stream again, which will be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Goodbye.